first day is larger participation. The next day it's for a half day. It's a chance to pick up the main ideas, mainly from the speakers, people interested to develop further projects and contacts and so on. This time it's a special session because His Excellency Ambassador of Iran will present us more detailed assessment of the diplomatic 120 years diplomatic relations. And as you noticed, myself, I was also very impressed from the very beginning. The president and you presenting his history and the fact that your country was among the first, not the first, having diplomatic relations with Romania, and also Ambassador Zak mentioned thousands of years of relations, population from that area with the population from the territory of actual Iran. So let's start with this moment of the presentation of His Excellency, Mr. Ambassador, and then we will start to have the discussion and then to feel free to present some points of view. From yesterday, it was very tough yesterday. And don't forget the rule of the game. It's a Chatham House rule, so it's good to hear very interesting things, but you cannot quote the names of the person which are presenting the issue. Thank you so much, and Your Excellency.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much, Professor Excellency Mr. Ambassador for the ESCO, Ambassador Bali, dear participants, professors of the 8th round of Middle East Conference of Bucharest. I would cordially welcome every one of you to participate in this special session, sideline event of the conference, celebrating the 120th anniversary of diplomatic relations between the two countries, Iran and Romania. The coming Monday, 11 July 2022, will mark the 120th anniversary of the diplomatic relations of the two countries. At least my information shows that we have no other Asian country than Iran that has such long history of relations with Romania. And in fact, this is a great honor for Iran to be an old friend of Romania with such long history. So this started in 1902 with full-fledged diplomatic relations up to now. Except short periods, almost all times we had diplomatic presence in Romania, not only in Bucharest, but also in different cities of Romania. So we are going to be 120-year-old of friendship. Traditionally, again, Iran and Romania had historical relations that date back to many years even before that time. So we have not to limit the relation of the two countries only to 120 years. We have many facts and evidence which tell us that there has been a historical relations, culturally, socially, economically, between the two countries. And my presence during the past 14 months showed me that there's still a lot of indication exists in the two societies which corroborate these historical relations. I would like to emphasize another fact, that Iran was the first, together with Japan, Asian country to recognize Romania, which we celebrated the anniversary in the past December 2021. So almost 140 years ago, Iran recognized the great Romania, and from that time afterward, we started to have different sort of official contacts, and finally in 1902, we had the official diplomatic relation between the two countries. A look into the history of the relations shows us that since that time, political and economic relations between the two countries are always based on common cultural characteristics as well as mutual economic interests. So regardless of the political view of the two countries, always based on the cultural as well as economic factors and elements, we had these friendly relations. It is not hard to say that for its return, Romania as well was one of the first countries who recognized the new government of Iran in early days of February 1979 after the Islamic Revolution in Iran. And not more than 1 month, we had the first delegation from Romania in March 1979 to Tehran to prepare the renewal of the friendship between the two countries. It is worth mentioning that in 18, the trade volume between the two countries peaked to the number of $1.5 billion at that time. And there have been a lot of industrialized relation between the two countries. And in many fields, the two countries was the sole partner. So, if you look through the lens of an Iranian to Romania, the next concept which coincides with Romania is industry, tractor. So in Iran, if you say Romania, the next concept is tractor. The tractor which was imported from Romania to Iran, and now we are producing that and even exporting that to Europe. So this industrial relation was existing from that time up to now. I do not intend to go into the details of this historical relation, whether before 1902 or after 1902, because we have two prominent persons in our panel today. Ambassador Teodorescu, which longly served as ambassador of Romania to Iran, almost, if I do not mistake, 2 decades, which is exceptional, you know, as well as Ambassador Eqbali, which was posted here as Shah, but he was served as ambassador of Iran to Albania, but always was connected with Romania. So Ambassador Eqbali in Iran is one of the few rare people in our foreign ministry who knows Romanian. So we are proud of him, and he had extensive research on the historical and social relations. Maybe I just want to touch upon one of his books about the common literature between Iranian, between Farsi and Romanian. So he found at least 200 words originating from Farsi to be used in Romanian. Of course, there are more than 200, which maybe himself, the His Excellency, will tell us that daily are used in Iran or Romania. So I do not want that much to go to the details. The importance of the relations of Iran and Romania is emanating from geographical point of view as well. Position of Iran in the Middle East, Persian Gulf and Caspian Sea region on the one hand, and on the other hand, the Romanian position close to the Balkan in the Black Sea region, the Danube and important port of Constanța always offers good opportunities for cooperation between the two countries. There are many regional and transnational arrangements, transportation arrangements, corridors, which Iran is involved and Romania at the same time. I just would like to tell you that just last month we had the international conference together with the Black Sea Organization with the presence of His Excellency former Foreign Minister of Romania, which now serves as Secretary General of this organization, Lazar Comănescu, in Tehran. And if you have a look to the communique of this organization, then you will see that how this organization looked to the transportation element between the two countries. And still I can tell you that whether from land transportation or from navigation, sea transportation, there is a constant relation between the two countries. And we think that the opportunities still exist to increase the relations in this field. Hopefully, according to what we have from the National Institute of Statistics of Romania, in 2021, comparing to 2022, the volume of direct trade between the two countries has increased 5 times more, which has been almost $500 million. I do not want to go into the details that we do not have this number with some of our neighbors, and this is unique relation with Romania. If you have a general look, now Romania is the 4th European partner of Iran on economic field. So after Germany, Italy, Spain, Romania in 2021 was the 4th partner of Iran. So maybe these facts are not that much well known to the public, but the facts are on the ground. What we have even for the first 3 months of 2022, again, we have noticed a more 78% of increase of relation comparing to 2021. And we think that the opportunities is higher than that. So we can celebrate the 120th in 2022 with a bigger number than $500 million of relations. My impression as the one who represents my country, and now at the same time sometimes even representing Romania, because once you are becoming ambassador, it's not that much easy to distinguish yourself for one country. So after a while you love that country. During this, the ceremonies that we celebrated 114th, I said this example that once I was teaching private international law and we had the topic of dual nationality. That was my impression, how a person can have double nationality. So how do they feel? And that was my personal view, that no one can have the impression of 2 nationalities. But once I became ambassador, I found that that feeling can stop. And this is for this reason that you have two parts in your heart. So you can divide your heart to two countries. And devoted to each other. So, as the one to work for both nations, not only for Iran, we believe that we can increase the relations on economy as well as on cultural aspects. So, if you have a look to the cultural relations, again, the cultural relations and scientific relation between the two countries is very historical. We just managed a brochure on the desk behind you, which gives you a list of traditional Persian manuscripts which are translated into Romanian. The first one was translated on 1902. So on the same year that we established the diplomatic relation, we had the first Persian classical work that translated into Romanian. And there are many more, and some of them are coming this year on this occasion with the support of the embassy. We have almost more than 50 years presence in the Bucharest University. So the Persian language department is now 50 years old, so it shows that the Romanians welcoming the language, the Romanian have a good feelings about the culture. And if I can tell you as a diplomat, which I served for now over 25 years, I have found many things in common. We had an exhibition last year on carpet. So we wanted to compare two carpets, one Romanian and one Iranian. And we put them one together. Many visitors told me that they cannot distinguish which one is Iranian and which one is Romanian. If we are not identifying them for them, there are many common symbols in the woven carpets of the two countries. I do not want to touch upon the music, so if you just listen to some music of Iran or traditional folkloric one of Romania, and you close your eyes, then you feel a lot in common, you like it. So you believe it belongs to one part of your heart. So we are going to have a concert maybe this year that we are thinking to meet East and East here. So the East of Europe and the East in Asia, we meet here on music to masters, Iranians and Romanians, to perform a common music. And what up to now I found, there are nothing common, even in music instruments, So there are a lot to do on cultural as well. If I want to conclude, we have a lot of events and programs in 2022 to celebrate this event. And among others, I'm delighted to announce that we have a project with MEPEI as well to publish a book to represent factually all the historical relations of the two countries from A to Z. So everyone knows what was the relation, plus exhibitions, list of contacts, and all the information that someone should know about the relation of Iran and Romania. We feel so proud about our country and our civilization, Iran. And always we wanted to share this culture with others because we want the other nations to benefit from what we found in our own civilization. So we just manage a very small exhibition on that, yes, to represent as symbol to you that what we have in Iran. So, okay, we are a country, we have always been a country. So we do not have independent day. This is one of the problems that we have. But at the same time, Iran is not a country. Okay, we have border, we are 1,006,048 kilometers, but sometimes the cultural and civilization border is broader than that. So maybe a lot who are present in this session, although they are not coming from Iran, but they have something in common with Iran. And always we wanted to share this enjoyment with other nations. I'm delighted again to announce that, inshallah, next week we will have an exhibition of Iranian art with the participation of a group of famous artists and craftsmen from the city of Isfahan, which is #1. And I'm inviting all of you to participate in that exhibition, which is a unique one. We have never had such huge group, almost 15 artists. And I'm sure through arts you will see that, again, there are a lot in common with Romania. So if you compare each art, whether ceramics, and others, then you see this commonality. At the end, I just want to thank the two excellencies for participation, and I wish you all, in particular the Romanian colleagues and friends here, and wish that in the coming days and years we will have peace and prosperity everywhere, whether in Middle East or in Europe, whether in Iran or Romania. Thank you very much for your indulgence.